This is when Turner's is supposed to say, "I've been saying that for years."
Hmm.
I said, "Kill me." Okay.
Yeah, I forget which jobs are like technically the best in here. But
Who cares?
like Sage is like the easy one, obviously for healer side, but Machinist is like actually like second highest damage per second. Typically. Nice.
Well,
All
Micro
right.
looks like you're going machinist.
I'm never playing Machinist.
Like 10. 10 should be fine, right?
Turner, I'd rather dodge myself and let you kill me than play Machinist.
Machinist is not that bad.
It is on my pin.
That's not a problem anymore. They've changed it.
Oh, you just single pull in this one?
Yeah, you have to.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get a thing that has to be cleansed.
I think we picked a bad spot. Oh no, I'm okay.
No, I'm dead.
Yep.
What is that? That just.
It's aimed. I got
What
Micro.
was
Yeah.
that?
I had gotten
Blocked
knocked
off
over
the
there.
tornadoes. Invuln. Okay, so this for ignore is raised invuln, by the way.
Oh,
So
Oh,
I'm just gonna go ahead and kill myself. real
forgot
quick.
about that.
It takes 3. Yeah, so the tornadoes ignore all forms of mitigation in invuln and do a flat 60,000, including raise invuln. So you have to be really careful when you're getting raised.
Good to know.
But
And-
yeah, the 3 of these guys do a player baited AoE. The tail screw is the one for the first guy. And it's like, it's just a small circle. You can't tell exactly where it's going,
And-
but you can see where roughly by its spacing.
yeah. If we
And
just
at
like
first-
don't stand by each other, we can tell who it's going to be on.
Yeah, and that first step was so mean.
It locks
I got-
in when he starts, so
I got hit-
nobody's going to get hit by it.
I got hit by the tornado stunned, and then by the time my stun ran out, the Senate tornado was on me.
Yeah. Well, it's Savage, they're one shot, so.
Hey, it's my first time in here. Oh, that used to their movement pattern.
Unless they have a different movement pattern than Savage.
They don't.
Well then.
Tornado's coming. I'm standing here for a reason.
Oh, you know this spot.
Yeah, we should be over here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gotta keep going. Yeah.
okay.
I thought you were running because of the buster. Sorry, I didn't realize it was a tornado.
No, the busters don't cleave.
Oh, okay.
I'm using it exclusively for the tornado, and I'm moving the thing here, but don't follow me there. There we go. Alright, you want to be on the flank, because he's about to do a rear cone, too. He does a forward into a rear. And the rear is, for some reason, very wide.
Good
Well,
to
he
know.
just has a fat ass.
Yeah. Alright, this one does a line that's player baited really early on, and then an out to in. Alright, line,
And then out to in, you said?
yep. Out. And the in's the same size as the out. So you don't have to do that for in, which is good because the tornado's coming. God, I forgot how fast these fuckers die. Alright. This guy will target people for knockbats with a dot 1 by 1.
Can we involve the knockback?
I believe so.
I'm dead.
Yes.
I don't get hit by this though. Because I get a tank buster instead.
I got Micro.
And Thomas is gonna die. Or no, he invulned the knockback, okay.
Oh no, I'm dead.
This I invuln.
I forgot it goes for res, sorry.
Fuck.
Yep. Then we're gonna get a second round of the dot thingy because it's still alive.
I got micro.
Yeah, I'll get the last one.
I did this and then or oh no, I timed that one perfectly. Let's go. I'm learning.
All right. I guess it doesn't rebust you.
That was fun.
It's a good break of death. I like it. So, the first two bosses don't actually require markers, even though the thing uses them. The pairs that the video used are not what PF uses, and there's a reason PF doesn't use those pairs. So the typical pairs will be tank range north and melee healer south.
Okay.
And that'll be for everything except the one mechanic that forces east-west split, in which case the healer melee go west, and then tank ranged go east, with
Okay.
DPS being south. And the reason we do that is because that puts tank and melee opposite each other, which is just far enough not to hit each other with spreads while getting uptime.
Okay.
But it'll probably be a bit before we get there. So let's just die to the first thing and see how that goes. We don't need a long countdown here. But yeah, it'll be a raid wide, and then the first mechanic does another raid wide of damage before it even warms up.
Daring, aren't we?
Yep. Bleed, by the way. Well, drop C.
Daring, aren't we?
Oh no, I am wet.
Alright. So one roll's gonna get binds, one's gonna get bubbles. The bubbles could just always go diagonal of the crystal in the 2 wind area. So Micro and Turner on their side of the room will look for a wind that's a 2 limit cut and go diagonal of that crystal. Thomas and I
Wait.
have to do the actual solve.
We did be set together, me and Turner, right?
No, Turner needs to be north.
Okay.
Alright.
This is one of the north-south splits. So in this case, we'll start next to each other,
Oh, diagonal.
but I'll move. Or like, I guess Turner in this case moves. And Turner's dead.
Okay.
Yeah. I was giving you guys the short version of the solve, basically.
I said I did it right. I hope. Still living, so that's probably a dead sign.
Yeah. We'll need to practice that mechanic a lot because you see it twice in Savage.
And then this is spread and stat, so we are both dead here.
Yep. I kind of want to reset, but I want you to like be able to see the motion a little bit, I guess.
Yep.
Which is why I wasn't trying to raise. You okay? Yeah, you died to the.
Bubbles.
Well, yeah. If you die to anything, the remaining stack spreads reassign and go up instantly.
Good to know.
Familiar.
Yeah. So it tends to be a chain death because it goes off instantly on somebody else who then gets killed by that, which means their second thing goes to somebody else. And yeah.
So when you say
bad.
diagonal from the 2, would my spot have been where you were standing there, or would have been the other
if by
diagonal?
coincidence, we happened to be in the same spot that time.
Okay.
So the shortcut solve is if you were a bubble, you look for the 2 limit cut quadrant, look at the crystal there, and go diagonal of that. And that's like you don't even have to care what any of the rest of the thing is doing. That's all you have to look at. If you're the bind, you do care whether it's stack or spread, because the bind has to actually do the pre-solved safe spot thing, which the video did go over, but I'll like really quickly map it out here. So if AB is the crystal and it's wide that way, these other marks are the 4 safe spots, and it'll always be mirrored, rotated relative to the inner crystal. And what bind, since bind's not going to move, they know they can just go to one of these spots. And which one they go to will be, obviously you go to the one that's on your side of the room, but you go to either the 2 or the 1 based on whether it's stack or spread. With spread, you go to the 2 because bubbles always end up on a 1 quadrant, on what was a 1 quadrant. But if it is a stack, you go to the 1 instead, and you're like catching the bubble person.
Gotcha.
There are ways to be smarter in terms of like getting slightly more melee uptime, but the brain dead thing is just always go dead center of your tile, because The spreads are fucking huge. They're literally like 1.8 tile radii in radius. So like if like I'm here and then somebody else is standing here, which is like still kind of close to the center of their tile, that could still hit each other.
Yeesh.
Because they're just that huge. For the stack, meanwhile, there's like almost no risk because it's like 1.35 tile radius or something. Like it doesn't quite go from center to corner. So the stacks are a lot easier to avoid clipping other people.
Okay.
And we'll worry about the second mechanic later. This first mechanic was like hell to blind prog, by the way. Because we were like actually solving the wins and everything. And like trying to read the entire fucking room. Nightmare.
Well, glad we have you here, Riv.
I mean, there's only like a very small number of people who did it that way. Everybody else is doing it the easy way.
Fine, I keep out my compliment.
Yep. Alright, crystals. So right now, you can already see where the safe spots are if you're bind. Technically, you can also tell which way the wind is. Because the wind always blows a certain way relative to the way the crystals are turned.
I am.
We are stacked, so binds will go to the one quadrant on their side. Bubbles will go to the two, as usual. And diagonal. Well. Oh man, Micro, you were barely close enough.
Barely, I still counts.
True.
Okay, Thomas.
Okay. Normally these spreads are okay. They're correct this time. So we don't need to do any swaps. When a person's dead, sometimes you have to do a swap. So it is spread first. I forgot to tell everybody what the quadrants are, but everybody spreads to their own quadrant initially, and then they come in for the stack after.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Needle threading failed.
That was very unfortunate.
Yep. All right. I could explain that one pretty quick though. I'll just let this kill me. So you always start in your north-south with your partner, and you have a designated quadrant, which you only go to if it's spread first. I forget what it was because it's been a while since I've actually done it. I forget where the melee and tank ones are. The melee and tank ones are supposed to be opposite each other. I remember that much.
Probably northwest, southeast, if I were to guess.
Let me see. Blowing bubbles. Yeah, northwest, southeast. So yeah, melee southeast, tanks northwest if it is spread first. And basically you're looking for, like, these guys are basically like exaflare style thing that's always alternating around the room. So that's actually not correct. It's like here. Right, so like there would be bubbles like in this pattern, for example, which means that the 4 tile is not going to be hit initially, but it will be hit by guys crossing from the other side. But like in this example, this would be Thomas's quadrant in the southwest here. So if it was spread first, Thomas would head towards the 4, would wait for the bubbles to go by, and then kind of come in behind him. The melee on a side is always the one that crosses over to join the other person for if it's stack second. So as a range, you just stay in your zone.
I like that.
Now, if it is stack first, both people will go together towards whichever of these spots here on the north-south don't have bubbles. So in this case, it would be over here because AB has bubbles. And the stack will go off. It'll be like 1 bait, 2 bait, and then like as you're moving for the 3rd one is when the stack goes off. And typically you'll be starting to curve about over this way. So you'd like come straight out and you'd drop your 2nd bait somewhere around here. You'd be starting to curve this way when the stack goes off. The ranged person stays here and just dodges the baits and bubbles that come their way, while the melee person has to cross over. Because the cross movement is monk austere as hell. You are not doing any casts when you do it.
So,
And
when
yeah, sorry.
keep going. You finish first.
I was just gonna say, as long as you're maxed melee or further, people should be able to be at like the 4 corners of the boss, because the boss is, or it should be on the opposite corners of the boss. The range have to be a little bit further out from max melee to avoid hitting the adjacent melee and tank.
So the starting the starting spot that you talk about, like this is, we just like split the grid of 16 into 4 or 4, and the starting spot for that first situation, which you said was spread second or stack second.
Right. With stack second, you go to your own quadrant initially, and then melee crosses to join the ranged for the stack. Which is actually stack second's the one that I have the footage for in Criterion Strats.
Okay, and then how are you determining your quadrant for when it's stacked first? It doesn't have bubbles? You said?
So one of these two, on the very north-south of the room, these 2 spots.
Gotcha, okay.
One of them will have bubble, one of them won't, every
Okay.
time. And you just use that one.
Okay,
So you're always going north-south movement. When it's stacked first.
Okay, sounds good. So is my quadrant then?
Yours is northeast. Yeah, so it's up there. So when it's spread first, you'll always go to one of those directions, do your initial dodge there, and the melee will, like, you'll kind of meet the melee towards the boss, obviously. Like, you're not going to be out in Timbuk2 with it, but the melee will come to your quadrant, at least for the stack, and you'll meet somewhere there. Even if the movement gets a little bit scuffed, you don't have to be too worried about hitting the other team because the stack is so much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
You only have to be really careful with the spread.
Okay.
Get rid of those. Do we even have markers for? Okay, I've only got markers even for the the second and third boss, and the second one is like for calling out to baby mode people. Yeah, there's not. The third mechanic has a very similar shtick to the second one, so I'll very quickly cover that one. But there'll be like waves coming off to the side, like and again they alternate. So like 1 and 2 might have a wave, and instead of going all the way across the room, they just go to the middle point. Like they go 2 tiles, and after they've finished going 2 tiles, then they do damage on both tiles at once. And there's like an in-out with a stack. So, you know, if it's in and, you know, this is the guy blowing up first, then we'd be like, you know, one of the teams would be somewhere around here to be in and not in the way of that bubble. And then afterward they would come out, and this one would be going off because the other half goes off on the second part. So they would be coming over to the one. It ends up being something you can sight read pretty easily, but it's kind of got the same pattern, just like the AoEs alternate around the room. In this case, though, they only are on the either north and south wall or the east and west wall. So, like, they don't cover all 4 walls at once. That one's always stacked, though, and only stack. So, it's easier in that respect, but it's 2-minute window, so it's harder in that.
Mm-hmm.
First mech I expect will take us quite a bit to get used to. I also noticed Thomas was on the 1 instead of the 2 with bubble, but it was fine because one of the reasons to do the north-south split is that there's also a solve where the bubble goes to 1, and that's only equivalent if you're doing a north-south split. If you're doing
a north-south split gives us a little bit of like wiggle room.
Right, like you could do one of two different ways of solving the bubble, whatever's comfy, basically, by doing north-south. And I am a bind.
Which means is Micro and I the ones who actually have to solve?
You go diagonal of the two. Because you're both bubble. Diagonal of the crystal two. Thomas and I have to solve.
Oh.
And we are going to the ones as binds. So Thomas will be 2 tiles south of me. I think. Or like opposite me, I guess, yeah. South and opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I see what you mean by deading too far out.
Yeah. But that's part of the reason to go dead center is because you just barely miss. Okay, it's stack first this time, so you'll be moving with your partner for the first one, and try to drop the first puddle like close to the center.
Center of the room.
Yeah. And that second puddle, stack's going off. And then as melee, I'm crossing.
And I am dead.
I got Micro.
I'm surprised we didn't have more dead from that. And now we're at the third mech. Our stacks are good, so go back to your north-south. The boss has turned. And it is out first, out first.
Oh.
And in...
Oh, I see.
I see
Straight
too.
through. I don't have res,
I got
so not
Micro.
me.
I get turn out.
Yeah, I know.
Just ate my Confiteor! Well, I guess it just ate the damage boost of it. Alright, this just summons ads. I haven't explained this at all. I don't even know if we want to explain it this time, but... or if we just want to practice earlier things once or twice first.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Sees
that's
the
where
emblem goes, something is wrong.
I was like, he's standing there because it's safe.
Now, everybody has to have their own spot in that mechanic. Do you want me to explain that one, or do you want to just practice the other stuff first?
No, let's just practice the earlier stuff.
Okay. It ends up not being that complicated, but we've got other stuff to practice still, so. But that's the second to last new mechanic.
Really?
It repeats the first mechanic, which takes forever, and then it repeats the third mechanic.
Wow, this is short.
It only feels that way because each mechanic takes 5 million years to go off.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Like Spring Crystals, you're like a minute and a half in by the time it's done or something. I don't fucking remember. Well, you're doing 2-minute bursts on the third mechanic, right? And then the next 2 mechanics are also take a while. Hey Sanka, you did?
No.
I'm Bubbles, so I get the easy job. So Turner, this is a safe spot, and so is the opposite corner. You can read it from the middle crystal. And it is spread, so you want to be on the 2 quadrant. And happens to be we're in the same spot again. I'm just gonna that one last hit. We were almost too close.
Yeah, and I completely misread the safe spot.
I got her.
I'll see if I can pull the graphic out of the thing.
Still good.
Yeah.
And it is spread first. You're going northeast. Fuck it, I'll go.
Oh shit.
This way.
Oh god, in. Right, yeah. I suppose you'd want to go in.
I can get this.
Hey, we did it right, Thomas. Let's go.
He tried to take my my corner. DPS have to swap. The stacks are messed up. And it is out.
Oh, that's bigger than I thought.
Yeah. And then in. The in is also slightly smaller than the hitbox because fuck you.
I got Thomas.
I got nothing.
Oh, do
I have a
Beaver,
res. I have a res.
out at Turner then.
I mean, we're on the mechanic I haven't explained, so it's not really helpful.
It's good for me to that in the habit.
Yeah. Alright. These crystals will have a corner safe spots.
Oh, it's Fred. I'm dumb.
The best part is these swings ignore invuln. Oh shit! I got lucky. I could show you guys the next mechanic, the Angry Seas. There we go. This can be knockback immune, and it's recommended if it's stacked first that you do so. Eh. Okay, let me steal the graphic out of this guy's video. There we go. Boop, boop, bam. So, like, you only use the thing I just posted if you're bind, because Bubble doesn't need to care.
Yeah.
But, it's always that rotated mirrored based on that inner crystal. So, you can kind of think of it as being at, like, the corners of the crystal.
Oh my god, I am stupid. I did not even realize there was an inner crystal.
Yeah, there's always exactly one that's on one of the inner 4 tiles. And you always use that for determining the safe spot for bind. And technically, you know the way the winds are going to go as well, because the winds they're always pushing along the length of the crystal. So like in this image, the wind in the northwest tile is going to be pushing to the east. And the 2s always cross north-south. And since that one doesn't cross north-south, that has to be a 1.
Okay.
But like, you don't have to even read that far ahead, necessarily. It's just how galaxy brain do you want to get it. And then yeah, Bubble doesn't even have to care about that. Which is nice. They're like, I have a bubble, I care about nothing now. I think I'll explain the ads mechanic after this pull, assuming it goes half decently. I'm a bind. It is stacked, so binds will go to 1 quadrant.
Ah.
Turner, diagonal if you're a bubble.
You would have been adjacent to your crystal. You want to be diagonal of it.
Oh!
Can you
I
get
was
on
looking
my...
at the wrong crystal.
DPS have to swap.
You're dead and up in the body,
Yeah.
Turner.
And it is spread first, so... yeah. I'll cross. Stack second's actually the easy one. Alright. We're corrected again, so you can go back to your normal partners. In. Go out. Big out.
I got Thomas. Oh, wait, who has res? Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas does.
I do.
I also have a raise, but I'll hold it, I guess. This is the mechanic we haven't explained. Just, at the very least, try to pick separate safe spots, because the idea is you're baiting an ad.
Oh,
And
okay.
you'll go counterclockwise to bait the corners are safe spots this time.
So just be in the corner, bait that.
Be in the corner and then go counterclockwise after the spreads go off to bait that ad. Or die.
I used an action. I forgot to hit an AoE right there.
And I'm gonna die because I'm baiting the wrong type of ad, but that's fine. I just wanted to like introduce part of the concept. How? Wait, I wasn't dead. What?
I baited
Did you just
to...
not deal enough damage than normal? Well, normally, yeah.
Oh, wait,
I'm just
Micro
used
was
to
dead
Savage.
anyway, so of course I would've.
They pierce invuln, and I'm used to Savage where they like, it's automatically lethal to take even one. I didn't realize a tank could survive taking one in normal. Yeah, so quick explanation on the ads mechanic. They always spawn in the same 4 spots, so that part, like that part's static. 2 people will get bubble, 2 people will get bind, and 2 ads will get bubble. All completely random. At the same time, there's the spring crystals, which will do one of 3 possible patterns. Either the north 2 tiles and south 2 tiles are safe, or the east 2 tiles and west 2 tiles, or the 4 corners. The 4 corners one's kind of easy to tell because it's got this like very nice radial symmetry going on. But it's also the only one where there are no crystals in a corner. So like you could just look at one side of the room, and if there's no crystals in a corner on that side of the room, then you know it's corners. If there are crystals in a corner, you could use that crystal to determine which walls are getting deleted. So if there was a crystal here, for example, you know that the west wall is being deleted, so the east wall must also be getting deleted, so north-south are the safe spots. Where you stand in corners is like almost irrelevant. You want to stand in the inner part of it just because of how fast the movement is, but aside from that, it doesn't really matter. But if you are on the a wall, then you must use the outermost corners, because it is very hard to be far enough away from each other otherwise. And you can't go outside, because if you're outside, you won't get to your ad fast enough after the AoEs go off. So the basic pattern is you figure out which ad you're going to take, you go to your safe spot, you wait for the safe spot that is clockwise of your ad, and then you wait for the AoE to go off, and then you double back. I might have the clockwise counterclockwise backwards from how PF does it actually, but it's the same basic idea. So like if the guy if they're the ad on D and it's a north-south safe spot, the person who's taking the ad on D would go to 3, and then double back to D after the AoEs go off, while the other guy who's over at 4 would go over to the ad, would be the one taking the ad at C.
And we just point him straight out?
And you just point them directly out, yeah, because they're a 180-degree cone.
Yeah.
And the way you choose the ad is based on the bubbles and vines, because the bubbles get knocked into the air, and so do the bubbled ads. So you want to be paired with an ad that's opposite yours, so you're on a different layer.
Gotcha.
Because nobody's going to be able to move once they baited their ad. PF does Snake's priority for ad sorting, which is like tanks range north clockwise. If you're the same thing, then tank adjusts. Healer melee looks at west ad and goes counterclockwise. And if you're the same thing, melee adjusts. So in both cases, it's the melee of the roll that's adjusting, of the pair.
So the idea is like you're either getting bubbled and going up in the air and you're going to be above the ad cleaving, or you're staying on the ground and the ad's cleaving above you because it's getting knocked in the air.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if I was a bubble and let's say Turner wasn't, and there was an ad bubbled at Charlie but not at Bravo, then I would go. But then I would want to take the ad at Charlie, so I'd go clockwise from Charlie to the safe spot, which is in this case at 4, and it's always going to be one of the corners that is touching that spot. Then when the AoE goes off, I would double back to Charlie. Because I'm a bubble, I'm getting knocked into the air, and my ad isn't, so the ad cleaves nothing because I get knocked out of the way.
Meanwhile, I would do the same starting, like I would go to 1 and then go back to B.
Right.
And it would get knocked up while I stay on the ground. Or, I don't remember which one you said if this was bubbled and which one of it was bubbled, but either way.
Yeah. Either way, as long as you're mismatched, exactly one of the two of you are getting knocked, and thus you don't hit each other. The one annoying thing is, if you are the bubble, you lose a little bit of uptime, but if you're not the bubble, you could potentially be in melee range and keep that uptime. Depending on GCD alignment, it might not actually be a loss, though. But yeah, the hard part is really doing the Snake's priority sort, because the rest of it's really not that complicated. But the rest of it is why PF uses markers here.
Yeah, I don't entirely hate doing the 9 intersections. Or the 8 intersections.
This is what PF does for markers. So
yeah.
Actually, I think I did have the clockwise counter clockwise correct. Basically, what it is like
go to your number, then
your
match
safe
your color.
spot is the same color as your safe spot's the same color as the ad you're taking.
Oh, okay.
And it's placed in such a way that like if you're in this square, you're standing in the waymark no matter what, because it's like then you're in that little section, or you're in this section while the other person is over in that part of the 2. That makes sense.
I will overwrite the rock on things. But yeah, I'll move one of the markers real quick to down here. Because yeah, basically like if I was baiting the Charlie ad, no matter what pattern of safe spots the spring crystals made, I would be like on the marker, but just in a different square that the marker's touching.
Yeah.
And then once the things go off, then I rush back to my ad and go bait it out. And it is fast, so like sprint it if you can, and if not, like boogie like a mofo.
Okay.
You don't have to be perfectly precise, but if you're gonna be tight in for melee, then you have to be pretty precise.
That makes sense.
All right. Yeah, we can use these marks. You don't strictly need them, but there's no reason not to have them at this point. And then I'll do this.
And so you and I are starting Alpha going clockwise?
Correct.
Okay.
So we check Alpha, then Bravo, then Charlie, then unfortunately, potentially Delta, for me at least. You'll never get that far, but if we have the same thing, then I could potentially go all the way to Delta.
And me and Thomas are starting at Charlie?
You're starting at Delta and going counter.
Okay.
It's Heaven's Fall / Snake's priority.
Oh, okay.
Now we gotta remember the other 3 mechanics. Okay, this is going to be binds to 1. This boss has no tank busters, but he does auto quite a bit, so.
Isn't I 500 feet?
Even in Savage, it's not that big a deal because, yeah. There's never a swap because it's roll based if nobody's dead.
Oh,
But it
okay.
is spread first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It'll feel a little monkasteer for a while, but
That's weird.
it is a little weird. All right, strewn bubbles. So this will be in out or out in. It's out and in. Thankfully, you can just sight read the bubbles themselves. And now we're on the ads mechanic.
So mismatch your ad
Yeah.
and go to the same number color.
It's corner safe spots. I think you're all the way down at Charlie their turn.
I am?
Because you're bind, right? You need to go to a bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were matching instead of mismatching.
I just couldn't remember when like the visual of the ads getting bubbled appeared.
It's
It
the same
was
time as you
very
get the
early.
debuff with it's with BubbleNet.
Yeah.
BubbleNet is always what puts the bubbles out in general.
Okay, and to make sure I know the order of operations, you do the dodge and then immediately move to whichever ad you're taking.
Right. So it's you'll like lay everything out and then you go to the safe spot, you wait for everything to blow up, then go in front of the ad, and then it'll do the bait and knockups.
Okay, so if it was corner safe spots like it was there, just pre-position near the corner by your ad.
Yeah, so in a corner safe spot case, you would have been in, say, for example, this tile, but inside the 2 marker in this tile.
Oh, okay.
And then as soon as the spread goes off, and you can just watch the timer, because the AoEs around the crystals go off at the same time as your spread, so you can use the spread timer to let you know when
Okay.
that's happening. And then, like, as soon as that goes off, you would go right in front of B, and the ad is directly on that intersection, so you just have to be 1 pixel in front of that.
Yeah. Okay. And facing out, of course, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you face it in, you kill everybody. Well, you kill 2 of the 3.
Better safe than sorry. Just dumb questions like that.
Yeah.
Remember, this is my first time prodding a Tricarium because I wasn't here when you prod the last one.
First time fresh product criterion. Bubble that gave us our debuffs. Fine bubble. And we are stacked, so binds are going to 1. Yep. Mistakes were apparently made.
So I was zagging one of the crystal in that quadrant.
Well, you were a bind. Binds don't go diagonal with crystal to that quadrant. You go to the safe spots in that image. Only Bubble gets the easy way.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Okay, so
Don't worry,
this-
Turner,
so
I
that
did
image
the
is
exact
used
same
based
thing.
on that image is based on where we are in the actual arena. Okay.
Right. This is like before the crystals get moved. It's relative to that one crystal. And only
Okay.
Bind looks at that because Bubble is the one that gets the cheat code. And I need like 2 minutes to pick up food delivery real quick.
What did you get?
Thai food, pad thai.
The choice?
Yep. Be right back.
I have to start making diagrams for my T group. We start next week.
Ooh, fun. I'm doing Utah with 5 fresh people right now.
I'm doing T with mostly fresh people. One person's been up to. I don't remember how far she got through BJCC, if she got through it at all. She's at least been to BJCC, I just don't think very far. And then everyone else is like brand new, not just to T, but to Ultimates in general.
Yeah, that's the 5 people with my Utah group. They're all new to Ultimate. I'm like, I want a few more Utah weapons. I'll probably have to teach people. I feel like Utah is probably a good first one for people.
I'm doing T because there's just a couple of my friends are like, man, we want to do Ultimate. I'm like, I'll do it if it's T, because T fucking rules.
I love T, but I already have every T weapon, so...
I don't even care about it for the weapons. I just want people to experience the fight. I'm going healer in it.
I helped one of my friends clear T. They blue screened right at the start of Perfect Alexander. We enraged at 2%.
It's our UCOP audio driver crash. Leo had an audio driver crash on like her second pull to Golden, and we just had to 7-man the whole phase because of how like long it took him to get back in, and it was a very close enrage. It was quite tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not like very, very close in terms of numbers, but it was close enough that like if we had been 8-manning it, it would have been a clear.
Yeah, we eventually did that to clear, but I would have felt so bad if we cleared the pull day blue screens.
I think they would have gotten the totem when they came back in.
No. Yeah, but still not even doing like they missed all of Fate Alpha and most of Fate Beta. So like they missed almost all of Perfect Alexander.
The only thing I'm not looking forward to is having to actually do, like, not having Barry there to call Almighty Judgment for me.
And and the best part, Turner, they potioned as soon as they got bad. If they waited till the 2-minute window when everyone else potioned, we might have got that might have been the 1-2%. But they eventually cleared with a serial purse.
I think I need to pre-pop sprinkle this one. You talking about Jammer?
Yeah. Would have felt so bad if we cleared that pole, the T-pole he blue screens.
Would have been pretty fun now.
I know. Everyone in the party was having a blast. We were all in voice and then Jamie just disappears.
Alright, bubble. So remember binds to look at the image. Binds will be going to 2. Because it is a spread.
And it's based on this one, right?
Yeah. So it's, in this case, it is in fact the corner.
But the other spot would be like where that other bubble just got pushed from.
Yeah, you see me get pushed to the
Oh,
other
I
spot.
fucked up.
I did too.
Yeah. I fucked up.
How did you fuck up?
I read myself as bind, not as bubble.
I got it.
Well,
And,
thankfully
and-
it's the same.
And I heard Riv say, "Oh, it's in the corner," so I just went to the corner instead of solving it for myself on my side.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to talk to Turner for that one. We're spread first.
It doesn't feel right that we can just like ditch each other after the spread. Like the AoEs keep going, and I'm like, there's still more.
Stirring bubbles, so this is the in out. Get ready to read. In. Yeah, the receding really sucks, so you can't really be greedy on it.
I forgot about that for once. And did I try that out via my teleport, but just missed Thomas for the stat.
Okay, so mismatch.
Yep, we don't have our things yet. He's going to do the crystals first.
Use this time to get the hard cast in.
Yep. North-south safe spots. Now we're about to get the buffs. I'm getting A add, so I'm going to 1. Yeah. Move.
Oh, that is quick. Oh well.
Like that
Well,
goes through
doesn't
invuln, but the
matter.
auto after doesn't. Yeah, I mean you tried to kill me, but because this normal mode I live.
I know. I didn't realize how fast it was.
It is very
Well,
fast.
this
yeah,
is,
you can't do shit.
There's a stack
Yep,
happening first.
Healer melee west. Healer melee west. Stack is first,
You said you want to immune that?
and then you don't follow me.
Oh, spread!
Spread.
You're supposed to go southeastern.
I don't
Oh,
Riv.
that's what that mech is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had to explain the
wow,
whole
that does
thing
a
yet.
lot.
So.
I am.
This is
I'm
not
just-
actually a normally raisable mechanic.
I
Anyway.
just kind of wanted to never mind. I assume every 4 towers. Sorry. Oh, only 3
Yeah.
towers.
No.
There's 4. There's 3 on one side, 1 on the other.
I must admit the third one. Unless
Yeah.
was it like northeast?
One side of the room, it's going to be northeast, for example, northeast, east, and southeast, and the other one will be.
Oh,
centered.
okay. I probably just didn't see the northeast one then.
Yeah. So that one's gimmick is actually pretty straightforward, but it's hell mode to heal, so highly recommend Thomas saves at least one very major thing, if not 2, for that particular one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the normal thing is, remember, supports north, DPS south for the spread part of that, so that the melee can maintain uptime. If it is stacked first, you want to anti-knockback typically. I didn't that time because it was our first time there. So Turner and I got knocked back together and took it appropriately. That part is straightforward, right? Both the tank and the melee can maintain uptime if they're opposite each other as long as the ranged are out. Which is why we have tank northeast and melee southwest for the spread there.
Yeah.
The follow-up thing is the weird thing. So the Angry Seas cast is actually doing is it's making everything from about here, like halfway through this tile, to halfway through the next tile, is all now a death wall. But because of the mechanic, we had to be 2 and 2 split, and then it's going to spawn 3 towers on one side and only 1 on the other. The trick is that the side that has only 1 tower, one of the people can get into a bubble and a
get
wind
pushed
will be
across.
coming in. And yeah, while you're in the bubble, the wind will blow you across and it will not death wall you.
Okay.
So
I vaguely
whoever the
remember that
ranged
from normal
is-
mode.
Yeah, whoever the ranged is the one that has to swap over. And then the melee always gets center tower, regardless of which side. And then the ranged that's not being pushed can tell which one they're taking by looking at where the other person has to come from, because they only have one option.
Okay.
Because there'll be
Like an
there'll be
ice,
two.
a bubble will spawn in line with the tower.
Right. You'll see like a rock here and here, for example, or I guess these aren't quite right, but basically there are rocks that spawned lined up with the towers on the other side. So I guess the one of them would be like roughly center and the other one would be like over there. And then the third spot, instead of having a rock, will have just a bubble. Those two rocks will also get bubbled, so they'll move with, and when the wind goes off, all rocks will then do a fairly sizable point blank AoE. And by fairly sizable, I mean there is a safe spot up against the death wall between them that's in melee range, but it is very, very tight, so you'll want to get, it'll take a bit to get used to it. I believe the safe spot's roughly in line with this part of the square pattern on the tile.
Oddly
But
specific.
only yeah. Yeah, it is really weird. Micro's the only one who will have to learn it while we're doing this, I guess. The other option, of course, is to just fuck off to the back, or like fuck off to the side and like sprint your way back in. There will be, even on the side that only has one though, there is going to be a rock there that doesn't get bubbled and so it doesn't move. It almost completely covers the tower with this explosion, but not quite. So if you're like in the tower exactly opposite of that rock, it doesn't hit you, but the timing is also like not at the same time. The rocks go off and then like a second and a half later, then the towers check. So you don't need to risk it.
So as the ranged, we just look for the bubble that doesn't have ice, that's in line with a tower on the other side, and just go bloop.
Right.
And
If you were on the one side.
If you're on the one side, and if you're on the three side, you look for where the other range has to be coming from and do the tower it's not center. That's also not where they're going. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And keep in mind, the one tower side will have the two rocks that are like conspicuously exactly the same distance from the line, and lined up with the tower. And that, so when you see that, you can also tell like you're gonna be the one that has to cross.
Yeah.
Because I forget which order the tower comes out. But that's the last new mechanic. So once the towers resolve and everybody comes back in, that's like the end. But the thing that sucks for healers there is that the knockback does a little bit of damage. Then there's a stack and a spread. And then right after the second part of that goes off, the boss starts casting Bubble Net, which is also a heavy raid wide. And then after the gale happens, then everybody's taking a tower, which is also a raid wide. So it's just like back to back to back heal pain. So Thomas will have fun with that. Shouldn't be too bad in normal, but I think Savage is probably pretty sussy. And
If I could
I
say
don't know why I did
anything
15 that
without
time.
pain, I would.
yeah,
Same. Every
And
time I
not a-
taught, I either have to cough right after or my shoulder flares up.
I'm pretty okay. I mean, I haven't been sleeping great, but what else is new?
Turner, that's just an average day that ends in a Y with you.
I know.
I mean, we practically defined ulti-prog by the fact that Turner's going to be missing one day because he's snapping through it.
Yeah, you already have your stuff lined up.
I just need a pharmacy that actually fills my fucking meds.
Crystals are out. Now we're getting our debuff. Boop. Then stack spreads coming out now. It is stacked, so binds will be in the one quadrant. So you'll be one left of where your other turn. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was just aligning myself in line with the one that's the orienting.
I brought dinner to the middle. Oops.
I saw that you weren't, so I moved.
Thank you.
That is actually the uptime strat. I just didn't want to talk about uptime strats while we were learning. And that's part of why I like, even though you can solve the bubble on 1, why I prefer to do it on 2 is because it's easier to see who you're catching.
Stack first.
Yep, stack first, so you're always going to go north. In this case, Turner and I are going northeast a little bit. And then melee crosses. Stack's going on.
I got hit by a bubble. I am dead here.
Yep, and that kills us.
Oh, okay.
Because of the reassign.
Yep. I have to go pee super quick.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to just do our break real quick? Because
I guess we could.
yeah, we're gonna have to re-instance anyway to finish the night. So we could just do a 5er right now and
And then re-instance.
then re-instance. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Then you'll have to remember ads. Yeah, I'll go use the bathroom too real quick.
I also remembered to throw clothes into the dryer.
Oh shit.
Did I ever tell y'all, like, I was experiencing issues with my washer where the clothes were just coming out absolutely sopping fucking wet?
Isn't that what a washer is supposed to do?
a
Well, it's
washer.
supposed to spin dry.
Yeah,
as
washer's
well.
supposed to spin dry. So like if your clothes are coming out sopping wet, that's actually usually an indication that like not all the soap is getting rinsed out of the clothing, which can cause some major skin irritation issues. But I discovered, or rather what made it stop happening was instead of doing the wash on like tap cold, I started washing them on warm, because you know, humans can't feel wet.
Right, you feel like a combination of cold and
Yeah,
other factors,
we feel cold, and our brain, like, we learn that wet is usually cold, so we just start thinking, oh, this is cold, so it's wet. And so once which it makes no sense that this is what the issue was, because like it wasn't just like, oh, these feel drenched, like they would come out of the washer like dripping. But for some fucking reason, switching it to warm from the coldest water setting has completely fixed the issue, which I still don't entirely understand, because it wasn't just like the feeling, it was like, oh my god, this is like someone was worried and they just got thrown into a pool. It's weird. I never had
washer
this issue.
dryer in the basement.
Yeah, they are.
It's like fully insulated, right?
Yeah, it's a finished basement.
Okay.
It's just weird because in all my life I've never had an issue of washing on cold, which is like, you know, I buy high efficiency detergent that's supposed to be washing on cold. But I've never had this issue of they come out just absolutely fucking soaking, so I guess the cold that this has is just really fucking cold or something. But even then, it still doesn't entirely answer again. Like, it was more than just a sensation. Like, they weighed more, just dripping water onto the floor. It was fucking weird.
Some kind of setting mistake or something that makes it so on cold that like doesn't spin dry properly.
We have a friend who comes over to our house to do laundry because his apartment makes him pay to have coin laundry, and we're like, yeah, that's stupid. Just come over to our house when you need to do laundry. That's dumb. And he and I we troubleshooted it. Troubleshooted? What is the
That's
past tense?
troubleshooted.
Yes.
Ew, I don't like that.
It's weird, but that's life.
Yeah, we troubleshooted it, and then, yeah, sure enough.
Well, usually you'll say something like diagnosed or something like that instead, or something domain specific like debugged. So it doesn't really come up that often.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tornadoes are static, so the one coming from upper right is going to come first. Rotate. And he's dead. That died so fucking fast. Jesus. Alright. Y'all are gonna have to like relearn the tornado timings.
Tornado timing's the first time at all?
Yeah. Beat to the flank, beat to the flank. Don't beat the rear. Okay, now you can rotate. The rear cone is like 120 degrees or something. It's like surprisingly large. Bait the line before we go out. Line's baited. Out, out, out. In. And he's dead already.
Alright, this does time out pretty nicely for Machinist, at least in normal mode.
The timing's like... This is unusually fast, even for normal mode, to be honest.
We're just that good.
Yeah, I guess I'm just used to losers, I don't know. This next buster is invulned. strictly have to, but there's no other good way to use Invuln, so might as well use it here. I don't know why I hit my 1 minute. Fuck my life. It's Savage, that dot really sucks, and if you're slow, it can start a second round, but like if you're quick, it won't get very far in that second round. Like it might like hit and I hit the wrong button. But the thing is, once the room is empty, the dot goes away immediately. This is the weirdest fucking opener ever, finishing a Confiteor combo.
South them.
Yeah, and Savage, I don't know exactly how my cooldowns are going to line up, but Wings is the one thing that I almost certainly will have, because it's not good on the last mob. I probably will also have Reprisal there, but it does turn to have more. Okay, you have your Bubble and Bind. It is spread, so Binds will be on 2. Close.
You son of a bitch.
Except just far enough off that it killed everybody.
Want to look at that one quickly?
Yeah. You also would have been a bubble, right?
So I am a bubble. All right. So
I went to the wrong spot there, Thomas.
all right.
Yeah, but it was spread, so he
So-
can just ignore you.
Binds are 2. Okay, it's spread.
Yep.
So I gotta go to 1.
Yeah, bubbles are always 2. Like you can't. There's like basically there's 2 different solves for bubbles, and because it's north-south split, both you could use either one. One of the solves is always go to 2, go diagonal of the crystal. The other solve is always go to 1, go adjacent to the I guess to the thin side, like of the crystal in the 1. So like you could do either one, but you'll end up at the same spot, and it's easy. And I usually find it's easier just to go to 2. How to explain it? So like in the image that's in the strats channel, if your quadrant was the northwest one and you were bubble, and like that was the 1 quadrant, you could theoretically go just to the left of the crystal, and that would be the same thing as diagonal of the crystal in the 2 quadrant. I just find it easier to do the 2 quadrant every time, since you can actually see the person you're going to be going to if it's a stack, and adjust a little bit if they're being weird.
So bubble can always go to 2.
Bubble is always to 2, yeah.
Okay.
And the advantage of the north-south split is if somebody else had learned the always go to 1 version of the solve, it still works.
Bubble goes to 2, and bubble is 2 syllables.
Sure. Don't forget Solso.
I won't forget it.
This boss is like the king of cast locks, by the way.
I believe he is the king of the sea and skies, actually.
Yeah, cast locks. They're like water locks, but you know, different. Getting our bubbles and binds. Support bubble again. Binds to 1. I can already tell you in the other side turn. I can read the winds before they should appear.
Oh, I stand on it, so like I know where I'm orienting.
Oh yeah, and Micro's in the wrong spot, so I'm gonna do
So
this.
am I.
I got him.
Yeah, I was the stack, which is why you survived, Micro. You could.
I don't know why I'm so bad at reading that.
We're good.
Yeah, it's on north DPS, and it is stack first. So heading north-south with the partner.
Spread first is so much better. Oh my god.
Running through is Monkasteer at first, but once you get used to it, stack first actually feels a little better to me.
Still good.
Yeah, nobody died this time. This will be the in-out. It's out first.
What the?
Who has a raise?
Not I.
I got Thomas.
I guess I'll do that. As long as they're up for bubble net. All right, it's north-south safe.
I forgot to adjust, sorry.
Oh my.
Yeah, so you have to go to the second one. So you would have ended up at 1. The adjuster does take a little longer to learn. And it'll feel extra bad for you because I already know it.
I know, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I need to wait till after the spread to move. I see where I'm going, and then I just see Thomas beside me on one side, Rip beside me on the other side, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably in the wrong here, but I don't know what.
Yeah. You got the cursed one where you have to go all the way to the end of the circle and end up at A as your ad.
Huh?
Yeah, that's
But I was at
So-
A.
No, like, well, she would have ended up at 1 and gone back to A, right? Because, like, I think it was you two were both binds. Was Thomas and...
Yeah, we were
Or did
bind
it-
and A was a bubble.
I
So doesn't that
I
mean
was a-
I get A?
was yeah, A and B were bubbles, and then D and C were binds. I had a bubble, so I went to, or no, wait, hold on.
Point is, if I was bind and A is bubble, that's mine, right? Because you and I
Right.
started A.
I need to start recording these so we can, like, stop gaslighting each other.
Yeah.
Boop, I'll hit record, and then we'll just go again.
The other one that was on the ground was on Delta.
Yeah,
I
Delta,
think.
Charlie were on the ground. Alpha, Bravo were bubbles. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And I assume I was a bubble because I was going for Charlie.
I know I wouldn't know bubble. I was just hanging out by like I sent a C or 2 and going to run, and then I see Thomas right by 2, you right by 3, and I'm like, oh no.
It's possible that Thomas was a bubble and should have been at 4, but I don't know.
All I know is I
don't
tried to
know.
adjust for the spread, but that spread is so much better than I thought.
You can't adjust, yeah.
I'm
you
not.
just-
I'm not.
yeah, you didn't die.
Yep, I know that now.
I'm actually a bind for once. How about that? Binds to 1. Stack first. Second 10-second mid, by the way, can just barely cover both of these hits. Yeah, move together initially. Yeah, I got fucked.
Based on how we moved, or
Yeah, to make the melee cross doable, the second bait
I got.
can't overlap the inner tile.
oh,
So
okay.
the second bait has to be reasonably far
It's
out.
a swap.
Okay, DPS swapping. Evoking. This is the in out, it's out. Alright, we've recovered. I just barely enough MP to do my convenient combo. Okay, crystals are coming out first. It is east-west safe. Go.
No.
Sorry, that was my bad, Thomas.
Moved too early in the
Sorry.
Yeah.
There's really no point in me being alive. I will do this.
I had melee DPS brain.
I saw you move to it. I'm like, well, this is done.
I was like, I can't have my GCD right in the corner. Let me move in a bit to see if I did not the GCD.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you just can't. They
thought-
managed to make it the spreads exactly big enough to tell melee to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, sorry, Thomas. I'll throw a brain cell.
You do have to use a lot of freaking harps in this fight, unfortunately. I think my typical was like 5 or 6 or some shit. It was way too many.
Oh my god.
Surprised it was ninja.
I mean, it has to do with like the circumstances, basically. If you do things just right, you can actually cheese out other ways. So like the strewn bubbles, the in-out thing. If you time your 2-minute window just right, you can actually use Plentiful Harvest as your range GCD while you're out,
Oh.
because you're close enough to use it for that. So you can get it lower, and it depends on how long the kill is and that kind of shit. Binds to 2. Spread. You're in the crystal, Turner?
Huh?
Why would you
What?
in the
Isn't-
crystal ever?
Because we're basing it off the one that was.
You
Son of
don't
a-
die diagonal with your
Ah!
bubble.
No, he wasn't. He was in the one quadrant, and he was doing. You were
Oh,
doing mind logic when you were a bubble.
it's swap.
Let's- I was gonna say we should maybe just reset and like take a glance at what he saw on that one, but I guess we can do this.
I
It's,
still want to
stack
practice. I still want to practice these dodges.
There, sorry, it's the third thing has. All right, it was the third bait has to not touch the inner tile. That's the one. The second bait can touch the inner tile, but the third bait, if it overlaps the inner tile there, then the melee can't cross without getting hit by the bubble. Because they have to like follow the line between the tiles perfectly on that mechanic. But yeah, you were a bubble on that one, Turner.
Which just means I go diagonal in my quadrant. Yeah.
In your 2 quadrant, yeah. But I found it funny because it's like, okay, you're a bubble and you're
So-
standing in a crystal, which is
okay.
like, there's no universe where there's a solution like that.
I was like, this
Alright.
seems weird, but it's based on this spot.
if you're a bubble, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, suppose the thing is, I don't know. Suppose it's there, right? Or, well, it's hard because I don't know. Suppose it's in that one. And it's like facing vertical, so north south, right? So the safe spots are here, over there, and then the antipodal ones. So
you mean it's
all right.
it's like
So if you're a
random, like,
bubble, yeah, it's like flipped, like flipped along the A or whatever. But those are the 4 safe spots, right?
I mean,
so,
the A1 is the size of the crystals, as I was trying to.
Yeah. Okay. So suppose it's, I don't know, just for sake of, let's suppose it's spread, okay? So I guess suppose you're 2, right? Or 1. It'd be 1, right? Yeah.
Do we?
Suppose this is 1. And then bubbles. So when you mean,
because of the rotation of the crystal, this will actually be a 2, but
yeah, sorry. Okay, I suppose that's 2. So how do the bubbles need to get pushed back to the other partner, right?
the bubbles will always end up crossing, yeah. Because the 2 wind
So how
always
do you-
crosses the north-south line.
Yeah. So there's like an easy way to do that, right? It's always like, is it adjacent to the crystal?
It depends on whether you're doing it in the 2 or the 1 quadrant. In the 2 quadrant, it's always diagonal. So in this example, I'd be here if I were bubble, because the A1's the crystal. And this is the 2 quadrant.
Yeah.
If I wanted to solve it in the 1 quadrant, the other crystal, I'll just go ahead and move it, would be like here. So it's like, it'll shoot north-south. And I would go here. It would be if I was trying, which is adjacent to the crystal, if I did it in the 1 quadrant. You could do either solve you want, but whatever solve you're doing, you don't care whether it's stack or spread, because you will end up in the same spot regardless. Because you don't have a choice about which quadrant. you
So
end up on.
bubble. Okay. So bubble doesn't care about, like, it just goes to 2, right?
Yeah, you just like, you just
Okay.
go to, like, you either pick whether you're doing the 1 solve or the 2 solve. With the 2 solve, it's, you always go to 2, you always go diagonal the crystal that's in 2.
Okay.
And the winds are
So you
rigged
always
so
go
that
diag.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So it's always diagonal of the crystal in 2.
Yeah. Every single
Okay.
time. Doesn't matter where the crystal happens to be, it's always diagonal of that crystal.
So then the bind is always
The
the
bind
safe
is the one that
spot
has
in that.
to. The bind's the one that has to care. So the bind is the one where
Okay.
they have to care how that middle crystal is oriented and use that image. So in this case, I'll just okay, crystal's faced that way. In this case, the safe spots end up at the corners of this crystal.
Yeah.
So this crystal's blowing up, shooting east and west. So like B and 2 are safe spots, and then opposite are also safe spots like that. So you can locate these ahead of time. Basically, as soon as the crystals land, you figure out where that middle guy is, and you figure out which 2 safe spots are in your side of the room. And then once the stack or spread comes out, now you know which quadrant to look for. And so whichever quadrant, you go to the safe spot that you previously identified that's in that quadrant. So we know this one's the 2, so if it was spread, I'm like, okay, I'm going to 2. Well, it happens to be that the safe spot's here, which is the same for bubble in this particular pattern. If it was a stack,
Okay.
I would have gone over to 3. Over here.
Okay.
But only bind has to care whether it's stack or spread. Bubble just always goes diagonal.
Okay. That's okay. Thank you.
I need just one quick second before we start.
It happens to be rigged that the winds, the 1 wind is always east-west and the 2 is always north-south, which is why, because we're doing a north-south split, that's why it doesn't matter whether you do the 1 or the 2 solve as bubble, because the 1 will get pushed to the 2 on that same side.
Yeah,
and then it's the same.
that's what I was wondering, because
Yeah.
I was in my head. I'm like, I feel like something's weird here.
Right. Just because of the way it's rigged, as long as you stay on your side of the room before you get pushed, you'll always end up crossing as the bubble, and the other person will also always end up crossing, so it leaves the sides balanced. There's another solve that's like east-west, but the problem with that is like the bubble people have to be doing the same solve, because if they're doing a different solve, then there are cases where where one will change sides and the other won't. And then they'll end up in the same spot because they're actually in the same wind grouping. Because, like, say the 1 gets pushed to 4 and then the 4 gets pushed to 3. If one did their solve in the 4 quadrant and the other in the 1 quadrant, well, they're actually in the same wind, so it doesn't actually work. We don't have to care about that because we're doing north-south split, which is PF standard. Are you like reviewing footage or something, Turner?
No, I'm having to discuss something with Gavin real quick. That's just a little time sensitive.
Yes, I will use the douche first.
Thankfully, this first mechanic is the hardest one. Although you do
Yeah.
you do have to do it twice in Savage, but in normal you tend to skip the second one, so we got that going for us. There's no annoying mechanic skip shenanigans in this one either, which is nice. We've actually seen all the mechanics too.
Okay, sorry. Funnily enough, when our parents, my dad installed a fucking bidet on one of our toilets when they came up.
They did what?
My dad installed a bidet wand on one of our toilets.
Nice.
I also realized that
Did you did you get
Huh?
your father to use it?
He's the one who installed it. Of course he.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Does anyone else see the shields become like giant for like a split second?
Yeah, I don't know
No.
what that.
Okay.
Like four Pine Hamlet stacks happen like immediately, so I think that's just server fuckery.
Alright. Second debuffs are coming. It is stacked, so binds go to 1. And I already know Turner's gonna go to here.
What? But I'm here. This is my quadrant, and I'm bubble.
You're bubble, and you're not in the right spot.
But I'm the northeast quadrant.
You go to the whatever 2 is on the north-south.
What?
What?
You don't have a set quadrant for that. You only have a set north-south. I'm just gonna wipe. Like, there's no point in pre-positioning northeast because there's no set quadrant in this
Why?
first mechanic. You're
I'm
going
gonna
to be,
look at that. I'm confused.
Yeah. Like, you will be on the north side, but that's all you know.
Oh,
I
I just
went-
read it wrong. That's why.
Okay, so but that was still stack, and I went and I got to that spot in time, and I had no partner. And Thomas was the other stack. I died, but I made it to the right spot.
No, I was the Versat.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
it's
so Thomas died
role-based for
because
that one.
Thomas died because he was in AOE's. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally just read it 90 degrees.
Yeah. So
That would do it.
you were in the one quadrant. You were bubbled, Turner, with the stack, and yeah, the stacks are actually role based for this, and so are the bubble bind. So if a DPS is bubble, the other DPS is bubble, and vice versa. And same thing with the stacks. But yeah, you were like pre-positioned all the way in the northeast corner, which was like, I don't know why you need to pre-position.
So
all the way out there, 'cause
what was the point of us assigning northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest then?
that's
I
for
thought
the
that was-
second mechanic.
Oh.
Yeah. For the first mechanic, you're just north-south, and that's it.
Okay. There's a
Also,
disconnect.
don't go out super. Also, don't go out super fucking early because you have so much time and you keep missing my heals.
Yeah.
I thought I had to be northeast.
You can tell when you need to be there because your bubble bind debuff expires at the time you need to be there. Because its expiration is what locks you in.
Yeah. No, I was going out, Thomas, because I thought I had to be in the fucking northeast. Because I thought that applied to this
No.
too. God damn it.
First and third mechs are just north-south only. Second mech is quadrants. Fourth mech is YOLO. Fifth mech is a completely its own thing entirely. But the first mech and the first and third mech are the repeats. So really, it's only once that northeast is your quadrant.
Oh.
Yeah, here you're determining 1 and 2 based on debuffs. But your bubbles, you're always going to 2. It's stacked, so binds are going to 1. I'll catch micro here.
I'm in the middle.
Yep.
What the?
Oh, when you said touch me, I thought I would like out of position or.
No, I just meant that like you would come to me and like.
I'm gonna res her on your side.
It's a swap.
Oh, well, never mind. It was a thought that counts.
Yeah. Stack first.
Micro, what's your corner?
Southeast.
Yellow.
Okay. This has gone horrendously awry.
Yeah. That third bait touched the middle again.
I would like to look at this most recent one though, because I don't know why I didn't get pushed into the square with Thomas. So
Yeah, I'll bring it up. See here. If...
I can bring it up as well from my POV.
All right. Fucking. Cheers.
But I was at A.
No, that one. All right. Do you seize the thing?
I do.
Okay, so when you're bubble 2 quadrants, so you got the right quadrant, but you need to be diagonal of the crystal.
Did I not move? I thought I. Oh my god. Okay. I
so
thought
you.
I thought
yeah.
I moved. In my mind, I moved down one more, and I. Oh god.
So you ended up
Okay.
not being in the right
Okay.
spot, so Thomas was alone. Yeah. So everybody
Okay.
else did it right. It was just you that time.
In my head, I kept moving, and I guess I just. Not I guess, I just didn't.
Yeah.
Oh
People
god,
being
Discord's
sick.
crashing. I'm not even sick!
Brains not fired on all
Yeah.
cylinders.
You're the non-sit one here, Turner.
Hang on, Discord's like getting ready to crash.
What else is new?
Or
Okay, there we go. It powered through.
Yeah.
And bound, he just trashes mid-pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the funny thing about this first mechanic is it's like it looks turbo complicated, but it turns out there's really only one pattern that just is like rotated a lot. And once you kind of get used to it, it ends up being easy unless you like actually start to think, and then it becomes hard again.
I think that's what I'm fucking doing. I'm not even kidding. I think I'm getting lost in the sauce of Oh Hunter Rejoice, and then I'm like, wait, I'm not paying attention. You start paying attention. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm paying attention to.
What was I doing again?
I really like this track. It's good.
It is a good track. Bubbles and binds are going out. Of course, now that you're thinking about it, you're now a bubble, or now you're a bind instead of a bubble.
Which means I have to actually solve.
Yep. Binds are going to 2. We'll actually be temporarily sharing a square. Ah, the pattern bar can't slide cast. My GCD alignment sucks.
Okay, that's actually super easy.
Yeah, overthinking's what gets you in that mechanic, for sure.
Just don't think.
The third one cannot be in this inner lane. Correct?
Yeah, the third one. First 2 can, third one has to be out. Yeah.
I forgot to move the same way as you, Thomas. Sorry, I was a step ahead in my head.
I literally just like walked completely inside of that bubble, but because it was
Okay,
behind
Thomas.
I was fine. I'll get micro just to make it faster. And
We're
also
supposed
gonna
to go. Yeah, I think I'm just doing the movement wrong on that.
No, I went the wrong way.
I forgot to hit record again. Yeah,
I don't
out
think
first,
these are
out first.
repairs.
Okay. Yeah, they are.
It was a swap.
I mean, because of deaths, yeah. Deaths make it
I'm
fucky.
just gonna go back.
Doesn't was it swap makes range swap or swap makes DPS swap? It's the same to me.
DPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were supposed to blah, 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 blah.
I
There-
didn't see Thomas down south, so I was like, okay, Thomas is just saying north.
I mean, yeah, it was.
I
We
got
resolved
rezzed
it.
and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's res confusion. Nobody
I'm
knows
like,
where
oh,
they are.
I'm north, but I need to be south.
I just wanted to make sure that we were all aware that those weren't technically the pairs. They still were valid. Just. Also, Thomas, have you seen ever since we pointed out that the shield thing has not been happening?
It was literally the server just had like a conniption.
Couple.
Yeah. It did like 3 in a row or something. It was weird.
Stacks, so binds to 1. Turner's dead.
Am I? Ah!
Or maybe Thomas. Yeah, Thomas was
Well.
the stack.
Okay, I got him.
Fix your mistake.
Turner, can you please stop killing the days?
I just had 42063 air anchor.
Maybe if you didn't tell Thomas, the game would have rewarded you.
Spread
We're
first.
good.
The one time your personal quadrant matters is now.
Ah.
Those baits feel way more hectic than they actually are. The last ones, I mean. The first ones suck, but this is the in out. And it is in. Out. With ads, remember Snake's priority. Micro and I have to do the super flexing. East-west safe. Go. Holy shit! Alright, healer melee west. Tank range east. It's spread first, so ranged get knocked back. Alright, meet in the middle for stack. And it's Turner doing the crossing. This bubble right here.
Oops.
Thomas is coming over. Oh, the
No,
AoE.
I'm coming over.
Yep.
Thomas was staying.
I mean,
No, he got bubbled, so I thought he was moving over.
no, he gets pushed into the wall.
Yeah,
'Cause yeah. That one, the wind is just one direction for the whole room. So if you get bubbled when you're on the wrong side, you just die. I was expecting that one to be a wipe anyway, because like the safe spot that Micro has to learn is actually kind of shitty.
I saw it there. That is stupid.
Yeah, it's very tiny. But if you notice it, like, it lines up a certain way with this square, and I want to say it's with the, like, just inside of the silver line, I think. So, like, you basically go like this, and then you go up to the wall, to where the death wall is, like that. But because this cuts halfway into a tile, you'll actually be standing inside the silver like this or something.
Yeah, it will be 7 for sure. Takes me a few
Yeah.
pulls.
Yeah, if you just record it literally once while looking down, you'll see how it lines up with the tile, and it's always exactly the same. So it ends up not being that bad. The thing that sucks is you have to sprint in once those things go off to get in there in time.
If you don't mind, if we see that again tonight, I'm not recording. Do you mind recording just how you do it? Because I'm sure it's just mirrored on my side.
Yeah, well, I have to get the 3 tower side, but I might
okay.
have footage of it. I'd have to check the 2. I have 2 clears saved. If it's in,
Oh.
if I get the RNG in one of those 2 clears, then I could show it.
Okay, I didn't realize it was only the 3 side.
Yeah, the other side, the thing actually doesn't even completely cover the tower. All right, focus on this though. It is spread, binds to 2. So I'm gonna be going out this way. Not this one. Turn.
This one?
Yeah. Diagonal the crystal every time.
Oh, I'm a dumbass.
I got him.
The bind is the hard one. Like, once you really, like, the bubble ends up being super easy once you're used to it. We're good. Spread first. calculated.
What the
Everything was
fuck was
fine. In and out mechanic. It is out. Come in. That's the last repeat mechanic at the end of the fight, too. The most brain dead mechanic in the entire thing. Roar summons the ads. Brain crystals gives us the crystals. North-south is safe. Oh, I forgot he was actually able to turn. So I'm going this way. 2, 1, go.
Sorry, I should have been up north there. So I just saw I had to take the D one, so I'm like, oh, I can just be on the free one, and then...
But you don't actually have that option.
Yellow
Yeah.
uses the picture, blue doesn't give a flying fuck.
What?
Going back to the first mechanic. Yellow uses
yeah.
that picture, blue doesn't give a flying fuck.
True.
Okay. Yellow picture.
Because it's old and weathered? I don't fucking know.
2 syllables.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever cursed mnemonic you have to use.
Yellow picture, blue boring. I don't fucking know. I'll figure it out.
On the one hand, it's excessive to wings that. On the other hand, when the fuck else am I going to use it? And now that you've made that mnemonic, now you're a bubble. And you no longer give a flying fuck about the picture. Binds are to 1 because it is stack.
Blue is always a 2?
Yep.
Excellent!
And always diagonal of the crystal that's in 2.
Yellow uses picture, blue to 2.
Stack first. Oh, reassign.
Yeah.
The
Sorry,
chain
I ran-
reaction.
I ran the wrong way, and I'm stupid.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to move for that.
My brain didn't even pay
Yeah.
attention to the bubble there. I was just like, oh, last time I was sad with Thomas ran to the left, so I won't run to the left this time.
Yeah, but you have to go.
Yeah,
in a
I
specific
wasn't sure.
column.
Can I like?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out how to move for that without threading the needle every time.
Yeah. For me, it's always just been 3 straight out, then sideways to the corner, and then because the baits come in sets of 3, so after the 3rd one, there's a little gap because it has to recast the baits thing again to do the next 3.
Yeah. So you just always have to go to the corner, pretty much, right?
Yeah, you just go like straight out with the first
Okay.
3, then you go to the corner, while the melee will cross the room, kind of following the line of between the tiles. Yeah. Yeah, it's 3 baits, then a gap, then 3 baits. Which they awkwardly implemented as 2 different cast bars to make that work. Yeah, fuck, close enough.
I feel that.
You did?
I'm coughing too. I feel included.
Shut up, American.
Riv, they're oppressing us!
Alright. That just gives me free content on Twitter, right?
You guys,
That's how that works.
you guys need some oppression, so don't give me that bullshit.
Alright. Binds will go to 1 quadrant because it is stack. Yeah.
Oh, I went the wrong one. Oops.
What?
I was right.
Thomas and Mecker both went the wrong one. Yeah.
Woo! I was getting
What?
really self-conscious about being in the bubble.
Don't
Oh.
do that, Rip.
Too late.
I'm confused on that.
The stack that you got assigned reassigned to me while I was raised in Vuln, and it didn't do any damage. Yeah, do you want to look at that for a second?
Yeah. Okay, so I see the crystal. It's in the middle. It's on the 1.
Well, we were bubbles.
So, yeah. So I'm on the 2. I am diagonal from the crystal.
Did you share the POV? I can't.
I don't
I
think
guess you
I
can't.
don't think.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
Let me see if I
PlayStation.
can-
I can. No, I can. I can, but it takes like a hot minute.
Yeah, I'll just see if I can see you on mine real quick first. Oh, you were in the 1. That was the problem.
Was I in the 1? That would
Yeah,
be
I could
it.
tell because
Hold
you
on.
weren't opposite me, and I see your like. Or wait, no, never mind. That's somebody else.
I'm a bubble. I'm a bubble.
Yeah, you're a bubble. Yeah. Let me. I only get
Yeah.
see you on screen for like 3 seconds here. Okay, you were adjacent to the crystal rather than diagonal. I mean.
But I'm. No. I'm diagonal.
You're in
on
the
the
adjacent.
2. Diagonal.
You have to be diagonal of the one in that quadrant, not the center. So the crystal that's in the 2 quadrant is the one you care about.
So the crystal in the 2 quadrant. Oh, I thought it was just the crystal in the center.
No, it's specifically the one in the 2 quadrant. Although sometimes, by coincidence, that is the crystal in the center, which was the case for me.
Okay.
And
That makes more sense.
and going one step further, like the yellows, if it's stack, the yellow goes to 1. If it's spread, the yellow goes to 2.
2, yeah.
Oh, that's so nice! Because if it's 1, you meet in 1 square. And that's stack. And if it's spread, you and the other person are in 2 squares. Oh! Love it! Love this mechanic.
Turner at it again.
Oh, yes! I'm back! No more rotating things in my head.
Don't worry, Boss 2 will get you there.
Fuck off!
Although there is one nice thing, which is that the individual spin that can't be called, that one is survivable on Savage with a shield.
So just heavy shield Turner.
Yeah. And it's, the damage down's only 15%. So it's like, who cares?
What was it in the last one? 15 as well?
It was
or-
probably 15 as well, yeah. I never actually bothered checking in the last one, but I think it was also 15. Yeah, the damage downs are like pretty weak, so they don't really matter.
They were fucking insane in Silda.
Oh my.
I am a bubble.
Spread, so bubble. You're still buying go 2.
Yep. So you'll start in the same quadrant as the bubble, because they'll also be in 2. But not necessarily in the same square. In this case, it is the same square.
But I use the picture, yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
I don't think my third.
Jesus Christ.
Aren't you machinist, not samurai?
Spread.
Spread first, yeah.
Use your quadrant.
We're fine.
I don't like that.
Don't worry about it. Got the fucking reprisal that one though. Alright, this is the in out. And it is out.
That's nice to just like super chain, you like don't ever switch sides.
Yeah, if it's east-west, you don't switch sides, and if it's north-south, you do. It's a little funky like that, but
Oh right, can be northwest.
yeah.
North south rather.
I mean what you know. It is corner safe spots. I'm going. Sorry, this one's mine. It's over here. Muttering to myself, and go. Hell yeah. Now we get to do Angry Seas. Healer melee west, tank ranged east, support north. And it is stack first, so everybody anti-knockback. Now. And Micro, you can do uptime there. Okay, Thomas is crossing. Going north across, Thomas.
Like over here?
Not in the line, but yeah,
Oh.
in the bubble.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
So I was confused.
Oh,
I'm like,
you said the ice happens first. Gotcha.
Yeah. I did get a... Yeah. The bubble is what lets you
So-
cross, basically.
yeah. So if I'm crossing, I go.
You cut off, but...
If I'm crossing, I go in the bubble, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The bubble that's, like, up
Okay.
against the line.
Sorry.
Go in the little cuck
I'm
bubble.
sorry. I'm dying. I'm dying.
I am too.
Yeah, and you do have to...
It's okay. We got this.
You do have to go into it reasonably early, because the bubble actually if nobody goes into a bubble that's open, the bubble actually disappears a little bit before the wind goes off. So if you try to last second it, the bubble just vanishes and you get screwed.
Okay.
Which is why you put range there, because otherwise the melee is sitting there for like 3 GCDs crying. What else is new, though? So we've almost progged the entire fight in part of a day. It's not bad.
Yeah, on a short day.
Part of a day with 2 members set.
Yeah. And 1 hopeless.
I'm actually feverish.
Confidence,
So
it's okay.
I finally got over my fever, but I still have a cough.
I'm
I believe in you, Riv.
freezing and then I'm boiling. And, oh my god.
Well, the freeze is just because you're Winnipeg from Winnipeg.
Burner living in his delusional world.
It is very cold though.
Alright, bubbles and stuff going out. I'm a bind this time. Novelty. Fred binds to 2. We'll happen to start in the same square.
Whee!
I like being a bubble.
Best part is slide casting melee LB. The timing actually works out that if you can start if you can start it right, you can actually slide cast it at the end in Savage. Carter immediately goes to fucking Narnia.
What?
I got bubbled. Sorry, Thomas. Oh wait, I was the sat.
It's just,
Yeah.
You're the only one who's sorry.
I got her.
Are you fucking sorry?
I am Canadian.
Stacks are good. This is the in-out mechanic. In. All right. Next is ads. Still waiting for the parts we care about to happen. Corner safe. Yeah, Micro, you're exactly opposite where you need to be.
I was a bubble and
Right.
Oh.
And that's also a bubble, so you don't go there.
Oh, I went
Also,
clockwise
we were-
instead of counter. Oops.
We weren't bubble, we were bind.
I was bubble, you were bind.
Yeah, it's not roll based on
Oh,
that
okay.
mechanic. So, yeah.
We actually can survive, but
Sorry,
we had enough raises to get everyone.
I solved it the wrong way. My apologies.
Yeah. You like matched instead of mismatched, basically. But
What do y'all have? Flu or COVID or what? I don't think I've ever actually asked, or if I don't know if y'all said.
I don't know. I haven't taken a COVID test yet.
I know in the U.S. we're experiencing like yet another like record-breaking historic surge. Doing too much better.
Nope.
we've tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
The holidays fucked everyone.
Bubbles out. It is stack, so binds to 1. Oh, I tried to just heavy
I got
hit
it.
and I didn't use enough.
Oh, interrupted.
You managed to get a 1 second cast interrupted. Way to fucking go. We're good, yeah. Evoking. And it is stack first. Sorry, it's a 1.3 second. My bad.
Yeah. Like, what a bitch.
Alright, in-out mechanic. In.
I thought that went off already. I'm so.
Thankfully, this takes 8 billion years to wind up. Still
North-south?
the part we care about. Yeah, no
North-
south.
Out.
Three, two, one, go.
I might have messed it up. Yeah, I
did.
messed it up. Sorry.
I mitigated it.
I
I
don't
know,
have
Thomas.
Rose. Okay.
Thankfully, on normal, I can survive that. Invuln doesn't work, but Mitt does. Get fucked, I guess.
We're good.
Alright, Angry Seas, stack first. Anti-knockback now. Reg. Alright, and Turner's crossing this time. Or not.
Oh, and I did damage.
Yeah, that mechanic sucks ass to heal, and Thomas had weakness, so I'm not surprised.
I was under practice to dodge here.
Oh, you went out. Okay.
Oh, the dodge is just staying in. Oh, okay.
There's a dodge out and a dodge in. The dodge out is like safer, but the dodge in is uptime. I could post the clip. Actually, we're done, so now that I notice it.
Still, not too
Alright.
bad.
Yeah, we saw all the mechanics. So, and the only thing we haven't solved is the very last step of the very last mechanic that's new. Because like once we survive those towers, that's it. That's it. The fight's done.
Go get some
yeah.
rest, Thomas.
Yeah.
Go rest. We got
Let's see.
till Monday.
And then
I-
on Monday, we should probably discuss the, like, if Rex does need to be pushed back half an hour, what that might look like for us.
Ooh, that might be kind of funky.
But since, yeah, Thomas go rest, we can talk about it later.
yeah, we
And
got plenty of time.
just to let you know, this Monday I would be missing.
Like, you know for sure you're missing?
Yeah, my work scheduled me the afternoon shift, which my old availability said I could not do, and they decided not to follow my old availability when I left my temp position.
Oh,
I
love
see.
that.
I work till 10:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 7:30 Pacific.
Yeah. So like almost complete overlap with Raid.
Yeah.
So it might as well be complete.
Okay.
So I guess Monday's canceling, so Tuesday?
Tuesday I am good for.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna ping Thomas. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
Matt.
did that off.
I'll say for Thursday, like, I don't know what my school schedule is yet to know how much, like, going that, like, you know, if we just do... I'm pretty safe to say that if we did just, like, shift the block of Criterion later on Thursdays, I can do that if everyone else can. I'm reasonably confident I'll be able to do that. So, I don't mind.
Yeah, I should be able to do that too. So just to let you know, Turner, too, I'm not sure how much you read. Basically, I finished a year temp position at work, so now my schedule is going to be fluctuating a bit.
Yeah.
which
Good.
Monday's the only day I'm missing for our